Meow everybody, I'm Cantonese Cat. Hey everybody, Cantonese Cat here. Well, what a difference that they made, right? Everybody was all freaked out this morning. And maybe you're still freaking out right now, I don't know. But I'm going to talk a little bit about meme coin season, because I think what happened today was actually quite promising. I'm going to show you that on DOGE and kind of illustrate that to you a little bit more clear. GME, nothing happened today. It didn't even really want to even go down today. Like, nothing happened, literally. What are we talking about in terms of weekly chart here? Well, I got a GAN drawn here, and the GAN is being drawn with the parameters of 1440 and 1, and you can see that this GAN is giving some really remarkable symmetry. It pushes through arc number 1, 2, 3, 4, got rejected the fourth arc, came back down, back test the arc here, back test the bottom of the arc here, bottom of the arc here, finally found support. It decided to just shoot up here to a horizontal GAN line over here into the arc up here, got rejected and just kind of hang out in the middle. Now, the impulse right now is that it wants to gravitate back up to this arc up here around the 50s. That's what it seems like it's wanting to do. And if you're looking at a lot of other indicators here too, I think that they're all kind of supporting this move because you got more support down underneath that resistance. You have the Boomerang support band that has been flipping resistance here to support, and it's pointing upwards. So it's going to serve as support should price need to come back down, back test the 25 range. I don't think it necessarily has to do that. But if it needs to do that, it's there, and it's still going to be a bull trend, right? It's always good to be above the bar support band. The Ichimoku on the weekly here, you had a bullish cross back in the beginning of December, and so far price is above the technical vision. The cloud up here is still thin, so maybe not that much of a resistance up here above. We will see. Super Ichi is looking fabulous. You have expansion of the technical vision, yet the Super Ichi basically just pushes through the Super Ichi cloud here on huge volume, back test on low volume, just been hovering. Now you got a little bit more volume kind of coming back recently, right? So everything is kind of pointing out, hey, maybe we're going to grab it up here towards the arc up here, and then we'll see how it reacts. Are we going to push through this time? We're going to get rejected over here once, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Are we going to is 6 times the charm? I don't know. We'll find out soon enough. I really do like the fact that we are now more or less have a full bull trend on the weekly. What I define for me, everybody has their own little bit of a different definition. What I define for me for a full weekly bull trend is that the orange, which is the 20-week moving average, is over the blue, which is 50, is over 100, which is black right here. 20 over 50 over 100, they're all curling up. Last time that happened, when 20 over 50 over 100 curl up, was right before it beasted, right? I think it was right around the second week of December, and there were 2 weeks that were just kind of going sideways here. Next thing you know, January, the second week of January came and it just shot way up, right? So yeah, I mean, maybe that's what we're kind of looking at here. We're starting to have a little bit of bull trend. I'm not sure we're going to have like a parabolic move like we did last time. But why not? I mean, it looks like it wants to get to this arc over here. Are we going to have another arc breaker and break through to this arc up here around 300s? Could that be the end of the cycle? It could end up 10x from here. I don't know. There's a lot of energy that's being built up here, right? Big accumulation zone over here is being built up here. And right now we're just kind of stuck in the middle. It looks like a lot of the indicators are saying that, hey, I think we're going to go up. If I don't look at it again, if I just shift over to the monthly, if I look at the Bollinger Band here, you can also see that this is basically doing the same thing as Tesla has been doing. You have price broke through a negative sloping 20-month moving average and flipping from resistance to support, right? And this is a very, very natural support that is built up here. You got a lot of wicks underneath below. This is an absolutely bullish chart. You have Bollinger Band expansion now. Your price looks like it wants to kind of ride up on top of the Bollinger Band to go higher, maybe to the 50s, and then we'll see how it reacts. But this is an incredible look to GME. This is basically the same look as Tesla the last month or so before it broke out, where you're basically flipping the 20-month average from resistance here to supporting to have a broadening of the Bollinger Band. That's exactly what GME is getting set up here to do. They're really, honestly, there's nothing bearish about this chart. I think it wants to go higher. I guess the only thing that's a little bit bearish, you have a little bit of like wicks up here above. Oh, that's bad, right? Tweezer top, come back down. If it comes back down, I think it's going to find really good support at 25. I don't think it's necessarily going to do that. I think Bollinger Band is expanding. I think if the stock wants to go up higher, it just simply needed to kind of widen the Bollinger Band here and also flip the 20 from negative sloping to positive sloping with this big giant candle here and another candle after that to really flip this price action to where it needs to go. And right now momentum is to the upside. There's really nothing else to say about GME. If you're asking about targets, I just showed you if it breaks 50, maybe 300. I could do some Fibonacci level here from the all-time high here to the cycle low, and you can see the top of the arc up here. If it breaks this arc over here, this arc it could end up touching like 50. It could end up touching 70. It's not a coincidence that the top of the arc right here is around the 0.786. If it breaks this arc, then it's going to all-time high, and it's going to go to maybe like around high 200s to low 300s, right? The 1.414 is right around 339. If you also look at the 1.272, it's around 230. So it could end up hitting between 238 to 339, so around there. And that could be the cycle ender. If it breaks to 4 figures, I doubt it, right? I think if it hits these two lock fibs over here, that would be a very, very good gain for GME. That would be almost like a 10x. Assuming that it breaks about the zone, right? Assuming it breaks about $70 in the 50s and then 70, right? Now, what other resistance are there? You look at the same thing, right? It's basically the same thing. You break above the monthly Ichimoku cloud. If you're able to break above the monthly Ichimoku cloud, then you talk about some all-time high stuff, right? Then it gravitates up towards the higher fib levels up here. So everything's kind of congruent with one another. Dogecoin, my Doge. What is going with you? Why did you tank today? Are you sick? Did you have dog COVID? Has dog COVID been rough? Well, maybe, but I really do think if I look at the weekly, I really do think this area over here is the same as this area over here. There's a reason why I say that, because over here you really have price trying to break about the 0.786. You can see how important 0.786 is, right? You have Doge trying to break about the 0.786 here during the cycle, and they couldn't build up enough energy to push through. Had to spend a few weeks here. Came back tested 0.618. Exactly what we're doing right now. I'm going to show you here in a second. Once it did that, spend another week, meaningless doji, big giant green candle after that. And this big giant green candle happened January 25th, right? What are we doing right now? Well, first of all, it's interesting too is that it's found support right at the 2 Fibonacci level, which is actually quite interesting to me. But what I'm trying to say is that cycle high or all-time high, cycle low, what did it do? Well, it tried to push about the 0.786, not able to. So what did it do? Came back down, back test the 0.618 here, almost perfectly, almost to the millicents, whatever you call that. It really is finding support here and it's really bouncing pretty strongly. I think this is it, guys. I think you might have another week of like meaningless price action, which just kind of goes sideways. But I think that maybe in January it's going to moon, maybe the end of December it's going to moon. I don't know. I really do see that it's going to hit like the $1.50, $2 range here pretty soon, because I think it's going to break about the 0.786. Just because it came back tested 0.618, it's got a pretty good reaction. It could potentially just keep going from here on out. I mean, I don't know. I don't know nothing. All right, I don't know nothing. All I know is that it's already break above the Ichimoku on the weekly. It's finding support here in Tengen Kijun, just like over here, right? Find support in Tengen Kijun. Over here, what do? We find support back tested Tengen Kijun, passed, right? Back to the 0.618, passed, right? Over here, in the past, what did we do? Same thing, right? 0.618, you're not seeing it, but back tested Tengen Kijun here, passed, right? And it just shot up from there. A lot of similarities between the two. There's really nothing like, really entirely bearish on Doge on the higher time frame. What are we talking about here on the monthly here? Well, it did also come back and back test the Tengen Kijun down here below as well, right? On its way to 0.618, back test, bounced. Are we going to close the month about the monthly Ichimoku cloud? Maybe. If we don't, I think that's fine too. I just like the fact that it pierces through the cloud over here on this big giant green candle, and whatever it wants to do, you can slide it should sideways, whatever, I don't care. All those things are meaningless. 0.618 is a very strong support level. If it breaks down, it might come back down to like 22 cents. I doubt it will. If it comes down, that gives you more opportunity to buy, but I don't know if anybody's really gonna buy if it gets down there, and also don't know whether or not it's gonna have to get down there. So because it's already back to a lot of very, very important support zone here. So yeah, that's Doge. How high do I think Dogecoin is going to go this cycle? Well, that's a little bit tricky, right? Because if you look at last cycle, I don't think the last cycle is going to happen this cycle. This cycle is probably not going to be as bullish as the last cycle. Let me turn off the Ichimoku cloud here. You're talking about breaking about the 0.786. Then you're talking about you're hitting the 1.272, 1.44 here pretty quickly, right? And then for this cycle here, break all the way to 2.272 before it really is able to find some strong resistance. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to hit that because it's just insane if it does, right? But let's theorize if we're hitting the same Fibonacci levels, how high are we going to go? Well, if we're hitting the same Fibonacci level, then it's going to hit like 1.2 and the 272, 1.4 and 4. It's going to be $1.50 and $2 in a hurry. And then after that, if Doge decide to make another 10x from here, which I think is going to be absolutely insane if it does, I don't think it's going to do that. It might end the cycle around $4. If it goes to 11, that'd be absolutely mind blowing. But the last cycle went to 2.272. Right? Market cap is just simply way too big for me to even envision that right now. But hey, what do I know, right? $1 trillion market. No, not $1 trillion market. If Doge gets to $23, then the market cap is about $400 billion. Just something to think about. Now, with that said, that's what happened last cycle, but the market also wasn't that big. So I don't know what's going to happen this cycle. I think there might be a little bit of a diminished return as the market gets bigger. But I do think that there is a good chance for it to get to even the 1.61 here, around a $4 Doge, which is going to be 10x from here. Pretty decent gain as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, we're going to talk about these GME, talk about Doge, so I don't have to talk about them tomorrow. I can talk a little bit more, but I'm going to stop here. Thanks. Bye.